And this is a short notice bout for Yazmin Lucindo. Yazmin Jauregui was actually supposed to fight Estela Nunez. You remember her, AJ, the mini Mike Tyson right there, with the Brazilian mini Mike Tyson. That would have been such a fun fight. However, you get another knockout specialist to a degree who's got a little more grappling chops than an Estela Nunez does. I'm going to tell you this right now, AJ. I've been watching Iasmin Lucindo. So one night, randomly, I had just bought Paramount Plus, right? And I'm switching through the channels, and I see they have Combate Global. That's actually one of the reasons why I bought Paramount, that subscription. This was many, many moons ago. And I'm watching, and I see this Mexican fighter, obviously Mexican fighter. It's a bunch of Latin fighters on that promotion, but just like going to town on this girl, man. I'm talking about all these punches, da-da-da-da-da-da. No bringing the guard back, nothing, just straight going crazy. And I'm just like, oh, who is this, man? Like, she a beast. And she over there, I think it was like a title defense or it was a title championship or whatever the case may be. And who do you know? It's Yazmin Jauregui. And I was like, dude, this girl's legit. I'm gonna have to keep my eye on her. So I have, right? Intensely trains at that Entrom gym over there with Assassin Baby. And what do you know, man? She gets the call to the UFC. No contender series fight, no tough. Straight up just like, all right, man, we're going to book you. You're good. You're undefeated. Knockout artist at 115 pounds. Come on. Brother, it's time to shine right here. So she has, obviously, a lot of hype behind her. How do you end up on the third fight before the main event in your UFC debut when you're not even a known commodity? That's just important right there. But I think it's important to note that this short notice bout, I think, is going to be... It's going to be a harder fight for her to win, AJ, because Yazmin Lucindo, when she gets that body lock on you, she takes you down every time. So the question is, can Yazmin Jauregui, who is a very talented striker, who has great jiu-jitsu, always practicing her jiu-jitsu, can she be within herself? And can she not go crazy with those strikes where she just gets body lock tripped and put on the ground? Because I think that's a very likely outcome here if she brings into the UFC that crazy, that reckless abandon style that I'm talking about. It's hard for me to describe in words, but I feel like you know what I'm talking about. So talk to me, brother. What do you think?
Oh yeah, Derek. It's playground scrapyard style, man. Literally just swinging as much as she can. There's a couple fights I was watching for Yazmin Jauregui, and I'm glad you said the name, man, because I was struggling with it on the stream. But just literally aggressive. That's the first note I have for Jauregui is just aggressive. Literally, when she sees blood in the water, man, she will just swing left and right, just nonstop until until you drop or the ref says no mas. Man, Jauregui is vicious in there. Schoolyard bully. This is a scrappy fighter, and I think that's why she's up on, like you said, third fight from the main card in your UFC debut. There's a lot of hype behind this girl, man. And but I'm with you 100%. I think Lucindo, in those crazy, aggressive, just nonstop lefts and rights that a Jauregui can be throwing, if Lucindo just ducks under, gets the body lock, gets a trip. She has very powerful hips, man. Very strong hips, can stay on top, and a dominating ground finder. That's where she wants to be. Lucindo wants to be on the ground, just throwing elbows, trying to look for submissions. That's her kind of style of fight. It's going to be interesting to see if Jauregui can stay composed and not just see, like I said, see red and go crazy.
Well, this is the other crazy thing about it, man, is that if Lucindo does manage to get the takedown, I think she's not only going to be at just an advantage, but a massive advantage because she normally fights at a bigger weight class, man. Flyweight, right? So this is a strawweight contest. Normally fights at flyweight. It was 2 fights ago where she fought at 143 pounds, bro. So, like, she's massively bigger. Which is why I do see it a little troubling that Jauregui is such a big favorite in her UFC debut. Just because even though, yes, the other girl is an unknown commodity as well, if you look at Yazmin Jauregui, man, all strawweight fights, man, all strawweight fights. And then if you look at these knockouts, yeah, they're on the feet and stuff like that. But have you had, I mean, it's not like there's a... I haven't seen in her fights her really get tested, taken to the ground, held down there for like a solid minute and have to work off her back too much, man. Maybe I haven't watched enough film, but I just think that her number one path to victory, that reckless abandon style, just does not bode well in this matchup. But it's tough. It's too tough to know because of the unknowns right here. So, are you going heavy on this minus 190 line here, man? Like, do you really like this line? Because I like the line. I like Jauregui. I like the prospect, but like, something troubles me here. What do you think?
Yeah, Derek. Before I sent in the picks yesterday, I had Lucindo winning this one, man. Yeah, so this one gave me a lot of pause for concern, man. Very back and forth the entire time, and even on stream, though, I had Lucindo the entire time. I was like, man, because I like the aggressive, the pressure fighter, the lunchtime scrapyard fighter that Jauregui is. until somebody sees that and they just, like I said, duck under, shoot for the hips. Now you're on your back. And next thing you know, all the power's gone, all the aggression's gone. You're eating some elbows to the face. It does give me a lot of pause for concern, especially because Lucindo in the couple fights I watched, she's able to do that, able to see the fight, get things to the ground, and then get things working. Where you're right, maybe it's just because I didn't watch enough of the Jauregui fights. I didn't really see her get tested. I saw a lot of women crumbling to the pressure that is Jauregui. They see those fights coming, they see those punches coming, they just shell up, start eating some shots, and either they go down or the referee steps in. Now she's going to have a bigger, stronger, not more technical, not more well-rounded, but more comfortable in the chaos fighter than she's ever had, especially in the big lights. Things can go sideways in there, man. So this one, man, I've had a lot of back and forth, a lot of pause for concern. I like Jauregui a little more just because I'm rocking with the strikers. You know me, I always like to rock with the strikers in this one, but it does, there's a little bit of contention right there.
Yeah, no, I think those are all fair points. And it is important to note that Iasmin Lucindo has fought at strawweight before. She just fought more recently, like throughout lightweight, bigger weights right now. So maybe the weight cut will get to her a little bit, man, because it's been 2 years since she's fought at strawweight. The question now is methodology. Yazmin Jauregui, knockout artist, right? 80% finish rate. Iasmin Lucindo, if you look at her fights, man, she has a decision in her last fight, 2 knockouts before that. She got a bunch of knockout wins and all that stuff, submission wins. The question really becomes here. The UFC is a place where streaks come to die. Does Yazmin Jauregui's knockout streak die in her UFC debut, or does she keep on with the magic, man, and does she get her out of there? I do think there's a big gap on the feet. Like when it comes down to strictly striking, Jauregui it's a big gap. It's just a matter of if that takedown comes, it's going to be hard to knock somebody out. What do you think?
Oh man, I think she's getting the knockout. I think she's getting the knockout. And Jauregui's won a couple decisions, but she is on a knockout streak right now. Her last 2 fights were knockouts. So I think she's staying with it. I think I'm going with the pressure. I'm taking that 225 KO for Jauregui. What about you?
Well, are you going over and under on this one? 2.5 rounds.
Under.
Under?
I'm gonna go early round, late round 1.
Okay. I'm gonna like the decision prop here, and the reason why is because I do think Lucindo is going to be able to work in that grappling a little bit and slow that forward momentum. But you're right, man. Jauregui, she goes downhill. It's tough for anybody to really handle that, man, because they all do crumble. They all literally just shell up, turtle up. And I'm talking about championship bouts. They just turtle up and be like, all right, you've thrown like 50 strikes at me. Like, what am I going to do here? So I like Jauregui here. The problem with handicapping this fight is that it's just difficult to know with the unknown commodities, UFC debuts. These are normally stayaways for betting situations right here. In terms of a pick, yeah, I like Jauregui here. Betting, I think Lucindo could make this interesting. So you like the plus 225 prop for Jauregui with the win. I like the plus 175 for a decision prop here. And then both of those are better than the minus 190 right there. So we'll rock with it right there, man. That is your UFC debut matchup on the main card. AJ, that was a tough one to call. But